Thank you for joining us on the program and welcome back from that break. As I told you, our conversation this morning is going to be electrifying because we'll be touching on very sensitive topics or very sensitive issues as it concerns immigration here in the FCT and Nigeria generally. And many of our brothers and sisters, especially the young ones, have had to come in contact with immigration officers while trying to process their papers to travel out of the country or when coming back into the country. Some of these experiences that has been shared with us have expressed the professionalism which men and women of the Nigerian immigration services have been able to showcase in carrying out their duties. This morning, we are privileged to bring to you on the program none other but our very own controller of immigration in charge of the FCT, who is also the special assistant to the Controller General of Immigration, and he is the immediate past public relations officer. I'm talking about my Oga Tony Akunem. Akuneme, sorry for the name, Tony Akuneme. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Your CV is rich. You are a lot of things. You're the special assistant to the Controller General, and you are the FCT Controller of Immigration, and the immediate past public relations officer. So you've been doing this very job we're doing here. You've been handling it in the past. But let's talk about immigration matters now. Let me kickstart the conversation by asking this very pertinent question. How does immigration play into the security architecture of the country and Abuja in particular?
Yeah, thank you for that question because it takes us away from the usual passport issues, which everybody thinks is the only thing we do.
Yes.
To the real mandate of immigration, which is border security, and then the control of foreigners in and out of the country. In this case, as it relates to the FCT, we are part of the FCT security agencies meeting, for instance. Every last Thursday of the month, we meet with the Honorable Minister of FCT, who is like the governor of FCT, the way other security agencies meet during such security meetings in the other 36 states. That's the way we also meet here with the FCT minister. And it's all about how to secure the FCT.
Just as you mentioned it, let's go to the illegal migrant situation. Permit me to share an experience I had. During my service here, I was posted to serve in Sokoto, and because the border from Nigeria was not far, we would just go see what it feels like there. I remember crossing over one time, and somebody was pleading with me to cross back with her. She was so desperate, and I was wondering, why do you want to
come to Nigeria?
Cross into Nigeria? It didn't even hold any significant meaning for me, but she explained to me that Nigeria is heaven. And I was, you mean it? Well, these people, they are brothers from Africa, and we find them here. They do menial jobs, as we've just raised. Do we have any particular regulation that keeps their number in check? Especially when, say, maybe they commit crimes, how are you able to trace? Because it will look like they look like us, they share the same features as us. So how do we differentiate?
Yeah, well, it's also part of the training of the immigration officer, which if I reveal it, I lose my taste, my flavor.
That is true.
So, but the truth is that it is not very, very easy to separate borders, like watertight borders. We are even moving on to preach borderless borders these days. I mean, all over the world, people are beginning to say that if you and I are one, then why do we need visas? Why does an African need a visa to visit another African? I mean, in West Africa, we don't do visas anymore. We're also collapsing the borders in West Africa through all the protocols of free movement and free trade. So to a large extent, Africans are one, and to improve in trade and tourism. We are the modern immigration, the new immigration under the leadership of the acting Controller General, Mrs. Caroline Wurala Adepoju. We are no longer looking at the military kind of securing the borders, or the, you know, we're moving on to technology more or less.
The passport, the Nigerian passport, is so sought after and holds so much meaning. But in here, we are quick to desecrate it. Small protests, you see Nigerians go on social media, tear it, throw it on the floor, do all manners of things to it. Now, just tell us why we should appreciate our passport as a way of encouragement to our youth.
Young people.
Yes.
Yeah, well, basically they say you don't know what you have until you lose it. And I think part of the problem is just ignorance, social, the milieu we find ourselves, the syndrome of wanting to leave the country. You think the grass is greener on the other side. I've been in the Nigerian Embassy or High Commission in Ottawa, Canada for 4 years as an immigration attaché. Between 2011 and 2015, I was issuing passports to Nigerians in Canada. I was issuing visas to foreigners who wanted to come into Nigeria. I have seen the suffering that people go through. I've seen white people begging on the traffic, on the streets of Canada, like not Africans, not black people, real white people also begging money, begging coins at the traffic junctions and all that. So there's nothing that is peculiar to Nigeria. There's nothing, whether it's corruption, whether it's suffering, whether it's hunger, whatever you think we have here, we have it all over the world too. It just depends, like you said, on the mindset of the people, on the culture of the people. Whatever you call your dog, that's what it answers. If you say your dog is Jimmy,
he answers to Jimmy.
It begins to answer Jimmy.
Yes.
If you say it's Bill Clinton, he answers Bill Clinton. If you say Trump, it will answer. So it's what you call your dog that it answers. So if people appreciate their country, it starts from your home. There's a lot of people you meet, they don't have regard for even their parents. Oh. While you see some other families, they are well bonded. Even if there's no money, everybody protects their family. So that is part of the challenge to the government generally over the years. You have to build an orientation that makes citizens to be proud of their country. I think it has to come from the government, really. It's a symbiotic thing, because it's what you give that you get. If you care for your citizens, the citizens are likely to die for their country, okay? And then you begin to wonder, is it not the same Nigeria that the Super Eagles go to play and everybody is crazy and clapping for them? Yes. Nobody remembers tribe. Nobody remembers the suffering. They're proud of even the Falcons or whatever. But then, other than that, yes, people go to abroad, they behave, they stay in the queue, they use the bus, they use the trains. But once they are here, they even want their entourage to come to the airport tarmac to pick them up. They don't even want to wait to come out again. You begin to wonder, is there anything in the skin of the man called the Nigerian that makes him lose his consciousness once he gets here? But I think it's a matter of time and leadership that Nigerians can begin to change their orientation and be proud of their country. Even if you're a Canadian citizen or an American citizen, you didn't just get it overnight. It was the Nigerian passport that took you there.
We Nigerians need to imbibe the culture of appreciating what we have. The green passport you carry is highly sought after, but you're privileged. You just need to understand that the privilege you have, it's a special blessing from God. This privilege that God has bestowed upon you ought to be appreciated and protected. And of course, we've heard so much from my Oga, Tony Akuneme, the Controller of Immigration in charge of FCT, and the Special Assistant to the Controller General of Immigration, and the immediate past Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Immigration Service. Like I said, his titles are so many, and that is why we here at the FCT are so lucky to have him. But before we go, the city generally would like to hear maybe a word or two of encouragement on how they should carry on as far as being part of the city is concerned.
Yeah, we're doing everything to make sure that the residents of FCT sleep with both eyes closed. Just a few weeks ago, all the heads of security agencies in the FCT came together and started what we call Secure FCT. Secure FCT is an informal monthly gathering of everybody, the Commissioner of Police, the Director of SSS, the Controller of Immigration, Controller of Customs, Controller of the Correctional, Road Safety, Civil Defense. We all come together, even the EFCC, we all come together every month at an informal setting. Is either the residence of whoever that is hosting to just, mingle, meet and greet, relax, discuss, share ideas, share intelligence. You find out that there's no toga of officialdom, so nobody's holding anything back. We're having drinks, we're having pepper soup or something, but the idea is to know ourselves more outside the office setting, to trust ourselves more. And while we're doing this, our orderlies and our drivers are also in one location at the same neighborhood, also being taken care of at our instance. So what it means is that when your personal aides see that their organs are bonding, they won't fight themselves anymore out there. True. And most of the problems we have is superiority complex, or the tussle for who is more superior. But when you now begin to build friendships, authentic friendships that could even outlast. In fact, we've started contributing money among ourselves, like monthly esusu. You contribute for me today, next month we contribute for you, even if it's 10,000. But the idea is just to bond as a family, so that the issue of securing FCT is paramount. But we're taking it one notch higher by making it like a family affair.
That is the much that we can take from Oga this week, unfortunately, as time is not on our side. However, you heard there are some takeaway from our discussion this morning. Your passport, you can initiate the process start to finish without a third party. Right. No agent, nobody, you're not bribing anybody. You can do it. You can start it and finish it. The program is Good Morning Abuja. It's been a pleasure having you on the program, sir.
Thank you for having me too.
Yes, sir. So we'll go on a short break now. When we come back, the program continues.